Hey everyone, Digital Onslaught here. Today I'll be giving you some tips on how to improve your building and creative, since I've seen a lot of people um, getting generally scared to get into creative since there's a lot of prefabs, there's a lot of devices, so it's kind of a mess to actually do something yet. So these are some tips that should help you, at least make your first map or something. So let's get into it. The very first tip is pretty important when just getting into creative, since you're gonna definitely run into it if you're building for the first time. And that's something we like to call Zfighting, when two props, two objects collide with each other and their textures try to overlap one another, creates this ugly thing. No one wants it, no one likes it. It's a pretty simple fix. You just hold it down and then drops off, and then you just slightly up, and then it's gone. Now, this seam might annoy you, and it's a pretty simple fix once again. You don't want to don't stand on top of it and press it down, because it's going to do it again. What you want to do is do the same thing again, but this time you go from outside and line it up just perfectly, but not too much, just so. And there we go. The seam is gone, and you should get a perfectly nice fall. Now it looks like this because it's in the middle of the prop, but if you do it on the edges, it should look pretty good, like so. Whoops. Now the next step is terrain. Now terrain is a very vital part of making a map. It pretty much makes it or breaks it. And a lot of people are going to use this, and I'm just going to say right now, it's probably not a good idea to use this as your first option, because this is the better option. These don't look good together, they don't work together as well. As you can see, you'll have these weird looking blocks, and you don't want that. Now this is the better option here, because you have a lot of variety with them. Now sure, these do have variety, but not as much as this. And these work together just fine. Actually, not even just fine, even better than the other ones. As you can see, I'm not even gonna give it much thought. I'm just gonna do this, and it still looks natural. It doesn't look like it sticks out. That's why I recommend you use this. Now in today's video, I'm gonna use this as a demonstration. Let's say this is like the grand river map, and you want to add detail to it. First part is you need mountains. Now, what you what most people are just gonna do are just gonna do this. You don't want to do that. Sure, maybe it looks passable, but you want to make it better, of course. You want to improve your skills. What you should do is you should take one of these, one of the mountains, not one of these, and place it, then rotate it, and then rotate again, and then fill up the sides, just like that. You have a completely unique looking mountain. And if you want to add a background to the mountain, you want to make it seem like there's a big mountain behind it. You can just copy it, take it, and then turn around, and then do this, and then turn it around again, and then do this, just like that. Use this a bit down right here to make it look natural, and just like that, you have a really big looking mountain. From down here, it looks so big, but in reality, it's just a few floors of mountains. And another thing is you want to add grass. This looks pretty plain, looks fine, but you want to make it better, of course. So you can use this grass over here, which is from this gallery over here. This is the one. It's the color picker grass, kind of a weird name. So you could use it, then drops on, and then rotate a bunch of times, and you get this really cool looking grass pattern. Now it looks circular, but you could copy it a bunch of times, and then do this to make it look less circular, I guess. No, the reason why you think this is a good idea, but the reason why you're not going to see it on maps is because it takes a lot of memory. Like this alone takes 6 memory. Now, 6 may seem a lot, but if you counted how many times I'm going to roll it right now, that's a lot. That's like at least 100. And if you're going to fill this entire thing, it's at least 1,000. And you only have 100,000 memory, so you're really going to make everything count. So this is cool if you're making an artistic build. Also, you might use it if you have a small map. So yeah, that's pretty much how you play with terrain nowadays and make one. It's pretty simple, as you can see. And yeah, now the next step has to do with lighting. Now lighting is just as important as everything I've stated so far, if not more, honestly, if you ask me. Now, let's take this mountain over here that we made. You want to make it better, of course. So you take the Skydome device, which you'll find devices tab if you're just getting into creative and stuff. It's right about here. You'll see it right here. And let's say we want this dark and we want the moon over it to make it look ominous, right? So you take moon. Let's do one looks kind of goofy as you can see. So let's take two. Actually, you know what? Let's go with the the other moon, and let's go with a bit of a darker one. Now, don't do a lot. Like you want it to be dark, but not this dark, because it's gonna make the moon disappear, of course. So you want to make this, a big gray, but not too much, as you can see. And let's say we want the light source is 5. We want it really dark, and there's a very important setting you want to do, which is the post processing. It's day right now, so that's why it kind of looks weird. But if you make it night, it's gonna look like classic Fortnite, right? With the night like having being bright and stuff. If you want to remove that, just play with these ones. Let's make it all dark, dark, all of it. Maybe not black because it might make the moon. Actually, you know what? Let's make it black. I'm just gonna show you. As you can see, it's all black, and then you take the standard device and you do this. Just angle it a bit. Now you don't want this to be the one that's like you think this is where the moon is. No, it's the opposite side. And there you go. You'll see that the moon is right there. Now we want it to be like this or like this. There we go. And then from down here, it looks like the moon's up there and looks like tons, tons better than the one we made. And I don't know. Let's say we want it to look even better, right? Let's make this also black and have clouds. Now, let's say you want stars. This is like, it's pretty simple if you know what you're doing. Let's say we want clouds, right? We want realistic looking clouds. We'll have clouds. Then you want stars. Sure, why not? We'll have stars, star visibility. We'll have it bright. And then you have stars. And there you go. You have beautiful looking scenery with the moon over there. It's pretty simple. Even looks weird with my character over here. So yeah, it's pretty simple and looks really cool. We just had like 5 minutes and we have this cool looking scene. So yeah, lighting is very important in your maps. Moving on from lighting, we have other devices like the trigger, which pretty much revolutionized how creative was. Before that, when it first came out, we didn't have triggers. The maps were pretty much so simple. You just spawn in, I don't know, do parkour or something and then end it. This thing pretty much made everything you see in creative possible. It's like the grandfather of every device. And so it's pretty simple to use. Now, if you open it, you'll see all these. You're gonna be very confused on what you're gonna do. It's pretty simple. Just go to the basic options. That's what you want to do. When triggered, which is when you step on it, transmit on one. Now this is one, and then let's go with the mountain we just had over here. Let's make it small, and oops, much walk over there. So let's make it. We want to make it walk, right? Walk. I'm sorry, move. Sure, you could say it was walking. You want to make it move. Now it's also pretty simple. Now you just do start, which is start when receiving from. Receiving is the thing that you want to do when receiving from, and the other that this thing is transmitting on one. So this thing, when it's receiving from one, it's gonna move. So it's pretty self-explanatory. So we want to make it one, and then it's gonna start in like, I don't know, 4 seconds. And another thing is, if you I don't know, if you're having it in front of like a multiple things, right? If you want to make like, let's say a sculpture move, and a very important thing you want to do is make all these, which is stop when on AI, like, I don't know, centuries or something, continue, and on player, which is when it hits you, it's gonna stop. You don't want it to stop. Of course, you want it to reverse if you want to, But what you want to is to continue also on prop, which is the most important thing, is to continue. And that's pretty much it. And another thing, when you're testing out maps and stuff like that, go to your island and then go down. I'm sorry, not here. Go to the game settings and then spawn location, make it current location. Now, of course, you're gonna spawn here after the map, but after you end the game, you're gonna spawn in the sky. You don't want that. Do post game location, pre game location, which is where we are right here. Gonna stop the game, and after that, I'm gonna step on that, and then it's gonna move, as you can see. See, the textures are kind of weird because it's a newer version. Anyways, as you can see, it moves. Now, of course, you can have multiple triggers. I didn't have it set to go back, but you'll see that it moved, and you can pretty much make it 20 meters and with other speeds. But that's pretty much how you make something move, you know? And let's say you want a door to move, right? Let's say you want a door to move. Now let's use the Z clipping thing we want to do to simulate what a door moving looks like. You want to make, I don't know, a Indiana Jones looking like tomb, and you want a door to be closing after you press a button or something. Now let's say this. This is the door gonna go through, right? Let's take this, and then, as I said, if you do it without like making when prop moving stops, it's gonna stop because it's hitting these two props over here. But if you have it on continue, even if there's props, it's still gonna continue and it's still gonna close the door. Now, for time conservatives, I'm not gonna, start the game. So, but you get the gist of things. It's pretty simple. Also, it works on buttons or these buttons over here. Just do the same thing you did with the triggers, but with a button over here, which is the basic thing. Which is when you're getting creative, I highly suggest you stick to basic options. When interacted with, which is when you press it, just do one, and then when you press it, it's gonna move. It's pretty simple. And this is the interaction text, which is, let's say, TTT, and then it's gonna say TTT when we start the game. It's not the customize button. And that's pretty much how you do things. Now, of course, the prop manipulator is the same idea as the thing here, as the prop mover. It's pretty much like hand in hand together. So you're not really gonna have much of a difference between the two. And that's pretty much the tips I'm giving you. And with these, I think you're gonna do just fine in creative. And I wish you all the best. I guess I don't know what to say, but I feel like with the knowledge you got with this video, you pretty much golden to build your first map. I feel like, and also there's other you videos that go in depth with how you do things. So that's pretty much the gist of how you do things in creative. Now, of course, there's a lot you could do, a lot, like a lot, a lot. Like a lot of devices and stuff. So this is just the bare minimum to get you going. So, yeah, thank you for watching, and I wish you all the best.